All right, what we're going to do in this tutorial is just practice solving a handful of ratio word problems. So let's get started. This first problem reads that there are 3 trucks for every 7 cars in a parking lot. How many trucks and cars could be in the parking lot? So we have 4 choices to choose from. And basically we need to see which of these 4 ratios is equivalent to the given ratio in the word problem. So let's start by writing our ratio like this. 3 trucks to 7 cars. And we're going to take each one of these ratios and see if it is equivalent to 3 to 7. So let's start with 21 to 70. Now 3 gets 7 times bigger, but 7 gets 10 times bigger. So we would say that these 2 ratios are not equivalent. So we're going to get rid of choice A. All right, let's see if 3 to 7 is equivalent to 24 to 63. Well, 3 times 8 is 24, and 7 times 9 is 63. For a ratio to be equivalent, both numbers must be increased by the same factor, and because they are not, these 2 ratios are not equivalent to each other. So let's get rid of choice B. All right, let's see if choice C is equivalent to 3 to 7. So we have 27 trucks to 49 cars. Well, 3 times 9 is 27, and 7 times 7 is 49. So those are definitely not equivalent ratios, so we can get rid of choice C. So the answer must be D, but let's go ahead and check for equivalency anyways. So choice D states that the lot has 24 trucks to 56 cars. Well, 3 times 8 is 24, and 7 times 8 is 56. Because both numbers increase by the same factor, the result would be a ratio that is equivalent to the original. All right, let's go ahead and do another example. All right, this problem reads that a restaurant orders corn tortillas and flour tortillas. The ratio of the number of corn tortillas to the number of flour tortillas is 4 to 5. What is the ratio of the number of flour tortillas to the total number of tortillas? So the problem is asking for the number of flour tortillas first. And it is stated at the problem that the ratio of corn to flour tortillas is 4 to 5. Because they say corn first, the first number in our ratio represents the number of corn tortillas, so the number of flour tortillas is 5. And the question is asking for the number of flour tortillas first. So we're going to state that there are 5 flour tortillas. And we want to express that as a ratio to the total number of tortillas. So what we have to do is take 4 and 5, the amount of corn and flour, and add them together, and that would be 9. So the ratio of flour tortillas to the total number of tortillas would be 5 to 9. All right, let's do another example. This problem states that in this table that the ratio of y to x is constant. And they want us to figure out what is the value of this missing number right here. Now, when they say that the ratio of y to x is constant, they're just saying that, for example, this value here of 8 to this value here of 3, so 8 to 3, would be equivalent to the next pair of numbers, or 16 to 6, and so on. So whatever this is right here over 15 would be equivalent to every other yx pair in our table. And it would also be equivalent with the last ratio of y to x. So all we really have to do is find a number compared to 15 that would be equivalent to any of those other ratios. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick a number that works well with 15, and that would be the number 3. We know that 3 fits into 15 exactly 5 times, or we could say that 3 times 5 is 15. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this 8 and increase that by a factor of 5, which would give us 40. So we already figured out that the missing number is 40. Now, if we wanted to check that a bit further, what we could do is we could take 8 to 3, which is the ratio of y to x, and compare it to 40 to 15 by cross multiplying. Remember, when two ratios are equivalent to each other, when you cross multiply, you should come up with the same result. So if we multiply 3 times 40, that's going to give us 120. And if we multiply 8 times 15, that as well is going to give us a total of 120, which confirms our results. All right, let's go on to the next problem. This problem states that a set of stickers contains 6 hearts for every 8 stars. Which choice contains an equivalent ratio of hearts to stars? So in the problem, it is given that there is a ratio of 6 hearts to 8 stars. So we just got to find the choice that would be equivalent to 6 to 8. Now, one way we can look at this problem is we can pretend this is a fraction, although it is not, it is a ratio. However, we can use the same properties as a fraction. And what I mean by that is we can reduce this as a fraction. So we could simplify the ratio of 6 to 8 to be 3 to 4. So what we can do now is see which one of these 4 ratios can also be simplified as 3 compared to 4. Well, 4 compared to 6 would be reduced to 2 to 3. So this is not our choice. Now 12 to 24 could be simplified as 1 to 2. Now 9 and 12 are both divisible by 3. So if we divide 9 by 3, that gives us 3. And if we divide 12 by 3, that gives us 4. So a ratio of 9 hearts to 12 stars can be simplified to the ratio 3 to 4. So C must be our answer. Now, just to take it a step further, let's just make an equivalent ratio statement. Let's just say that 6 to 8 is equivalent to 9 to 12, and then cross multiply just to see if we come up with the same answer. Well, 8 times 9 is 72, and 6 times 12 is also 72, verifying our results. All right, let's go on to another example. This problem states that Jake mixed paint in a ratio of 5 quarts of red to 7 quarts of yellow to 7 quarts of white. How would Jake express the ratio of the number of quarts of red and yellow to the total number of paint he mixed? Now we got to be very careful in this problem. They're really only asking for a ratio of 2 numbers. And the first number we have to determine is the quarts of red and yellow. So we have to go back to the given information and add the number of red quarts to the number of yellow quarts. So there are 5 red quarts and 7 yellow quarts. So for red and yellow, there is a total of 12 quarts. And we have to state that a ratio to the total amount of paint he mixed. And he mixed 5 quarts of red, 7 quarts of yellow, and 7 quarts of white. So we have to add all 3 of those numbers for the total quarts, which would give us 19. So we would say the ratio of paint that Jake mixed of red and yellow compared to the total amount is 12 quarts to 19 quarts. All right, so I hope this quick review on ratio word problems was helpful. Please don't forget to subscribe so you can become informed as new tutorials are uploaded that just might help you with your homework.